So the Premier League season is now over. Spurs finished 5th, but we still have one game left, a friendly in Melbourne, Australia against Newcastle.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. So just arrived at the airport here in London. Of course, was in Sheffield yesterday for Tottenham's final Premier League game, which of course we won 3-0 with Dejan Kulusevski grabbing a brace and Pedro Porro getting the other goal. Of course, Tottenham Hotspur have finished 5th in the Premier League. We will be playing in the Europa League next season. Of course, it is the different format, the new format. 4 games at home, 4 games away, so we are in a very, very large group where we play 8 matches. Now, of course, I am now off to Melbourne, Australia. I fly to Doha first. Overall, it's going to take around 22 hours. I don't know whether I'm going to have Wi-Fi on the plane or not, so this may be the last video for 22 hours or so. And Tottenham Hotspur have just literally announced that they will be going to South Korea in August to play Bayern Munich. So that is going to be an interesting one. These players are certainly getting about. Now anyway, last night Tottenham Hotspur announced that 24 players have got on the plane to Melbourne, Australia. Now this is the plan because the players and Postecoglou will arrive in Melbourne. They will have probably 4 or 5 hours, and then Postecoglou has to go to a business lunch that takes place 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Olympic Room MCG, and then hours later the squad actually have an open training session where fans can actually go. That is being done at the AAMI Park in Melbourne. This is a very usual thing. Whenever Spurs do tours, they normally have an open training session for the fans to go along and see the training. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll make it because of my flight time, and this is the first flight out to Melbourne, Australia post Sheffield United game. I may just make the second half of the training session. I don't think I'm going to be there from the start. It just depends on how long it takes me to get out of Melbourne airport. That will be the thing. If I can get out there quickly and hop over where they're training, then I'll make some of it at least. Anyway, then Spurs face Newcastle on Wednesday the 22nd. Local time, it will be 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Melbourne, Australia are 9 hours ahead of the UK, so the game in the UK will kick off 10:45 a.m. on Wednesday. Now, Kieran Trippier and Eddie Howe have expressed some disappointment about playing this game, so close to the end of the Premier League campaign, because of course they have played in the Champions League this season as well. But the team, they literally flew out. Spurs, they literally flew out from Sheffield. They went, got on the plane straight away, and they are there for less than 48 hours. They are travelling back straight after the game on Wednesday. Now this is a short video that Spurs released of the players getting on the plane after the Sheffield United game.
Let's go! Get the switch in.
Idiot abroad, isn't I? So the Spurs players will still be in the air. I'll be flying shortly. As I said, I'm going to Doha first. That will be a flight time of 6 hours 35 minutes. Have a bit of downtime for 2 hours 40, and then Doha to Melbourne The flight time is 13.5 hours. A lot of people say, Chris, why on earth do you do this and only for a friendly? I love my club, I love following Tottenham Hotspur, and of course we've had no European football this season. We've only played 41 competitive games, 38 in the league, 2 in the FA Cup and 1 in the League Cup. And I think this is a good way to end the season. I know the club are not going to be there for very long, less than 48 hours, as I said earlier. So I'm looking forward to it. And of course Spurs will be travelling all over the place for pre-season. Of course they are going to Japan, and now it has been announced that they will be going to South Korea. It should be an interesting trip. I've got lots planned, so as per usual, if you've watched this channel on a regular basis and in the past, you will see, or you would have seen, that not only do I cover Tottenham, but I cover the area that I go to. I've got lots of things written down, lots of places to go and visit, so it should be an interesting trip. Now, the 24 players that have got on the plane with Ange Postecoglou to Melbourne, Australia for this game against Newcastle are as follows: George Abbott, Brandon Austin, Rodrigo Bentancur, Leo Black, Alfie Devine, Jamie Donnelly, Radu Dragushin, Brian Hill, Tyrese Hall, Brennan Johnson, Dejan Kulusevski, Rio Kiamatan, Emerson Royale, James Maddison, Ashley Phillips, Pedro Porro, Iago Santiago, Papa Matassar, Dane Scarlett, Oliver Skip, Hun-Min Son, Mickey van der Ven, goalkeeper Vicario, and Alfie Whiteman. Now on Tuesday, as I mentioned, Tottenham Hotspur will have their open training session. Straight after our open training session, there is an open training session for the A-League All-Stars. Arsenal women are also there as well. They will be having an open training session on Thursday. We're only there for one game, which of course we play Newcastle on Wednesday evening, as I mentioned earlier. But Newcastle will be having another game, and that will be against the A-League All-Stars on Friday. Arsenal women will also be in action on Friday against the A-League All-Stars women. Ange Postecoglou was actually asked what he does on the plane. This is what he said.
What I do. I'll read a bit. I'll watch a couple of series I've downloaded. I'm not going to tell you what they are, mate, so don't ask. And then, that's about it, really. It's a long flight, mate. I don't know if you've been Oz. Oh my God, it's brutal. So you've got to fill the time in.
So I hope that's covered everything with Tottenham Hotspur in Melbourne, Australia. I will see you there in 22 hours or so, and hopefully I'll make the training session or part of it anyway. Certainly looking forward to the game against Newcastle on Wednesday evening, and hoping to be back in England for the Premier League 2 playoff final, where the Spurs under-21s will of course play either Reading or Sunderland. I'll see you there. Have a good week. Come on, you Spurs.